Hey guys, Face Forward Pop On here today for Friday, just to kind of do a little weekly wrap up of our collective messages and all of the alignments and alliances that have come forward this week. I lost track of counting the spiritual breadcrumbs, but I'm going to share here with you something that just stumbled across my feed that sort of put that final punctuation mark on all of it. So of course, we had our collective messages at the top of the week, our tarot cards, the oracle messages, shameless movie references that included Forrest Gump, and led me to share with you some of my old reels that I created for Movie Monday and such. And of course, one of them featured the song Running on Empty, right? So we brought that in on Sunday. And as I've been moving through this week, I have been connecting in for the lunar eclipse, the full supermoon in Pisces that is occurring on Monday, the 17th into the 18th. And so I was recording those messages. That is an empowerment reading that is available for anyone. So if you're already with me for the empowerment pack, I've just sent it to you. If you would like to join, it is available a la carte. And it's one where we have this full reading, 6-card spread, oracle card messages that came through, and then a part 2 where I'll be pulling personal cards, and I'm including a bonus card pull for Equinox as well. I'm going to be doing those card pulls on the week of September 23rd, and that's because, speaking of running on empty, I provided an update this week for the empowerment pack, and I'm sharing here too. As I have shared in the past, I do have challenges with iron deficiency anemia, and from time to time it becomes necessary for me to have IV infusions. And in fact, that time has come again, pretty much right on schedule. I have been feeling very run down, running on empty, one might say, and had the lab work and such that all confirmed. And in fact, I am having my first infusion on Monday. Typically, it's a cycle of 2 infusions, and I start to feel better pretty quickly, which is wonderful because I do have a full week, which includes some personal travel that I'm doing next week, which I'm incredibly excited about. As a mom of 4 kids, this is going to be the first time that I've gone somewhere just for me on my own to gather with like-minded souls in Tennessee, actually, for Equinox. So it's just, just from sharing my personal, the way that these energies showed up for me this week is just beyond. It started with the new moon in Virgo, where we may have been feeling a little bit of that kick to get us going with getting organized, those to-do lists, taking action. And then this Virgo season, which typically does, highlight for us things such as our health, our bodies, caring for ourselves, our well-being. And I got that nudge to make the phone calls, get the lab orders, get the work done, now setting up these appointments so that I can take care of myself in order to be able to care for others, right? So that's one way it showed up for me. And then it totally was just a coincidence. Well, it's not a coincidence, but you know what I mean. Running on empty comes forward this week. And then I was laughing because I actually spent my morning today at the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles, for an overdue renewal of my license. And so I was waiting for, 90 minutes or so. And then I finally had my turn to get my picture taken. And like, speaking of Forrest Gump, if you know the movie reference, I blinked twice. In the movie, every picture of Forrest Gump with, famous figures throughout history and time, he always has his eyes closed in the picture, right? So yet another way that tarot and oracle messages imitate real life. Who would have known? But my ultimate picture on my license, while incredibly too close up, my eyes are open. So hey, that's just for me. But how have you been? How has your week been? What I thought I would do here is I wanted to give you these updates and just let you know I will be on this weekend. I will be tuning in for our collective week ahead. I probably will not be offering personal card pulls because I am very busy between my infusions. I'm chaperoning field trips for my son next week and then traveling. However, I am going to be putting out about the next opportunities that we can connect more comprehensively. So we've got the full moon empowerment reading available right now. So if you're interested in coming along for that, I'll be providing the link to the booking site where you can snag one of those a la carte readings. And also I will be opening up the books for my Equinox special. So I have a really special spread. I do an Equinox altar, which I will be setting up this weekend in preparation for next weekend. I know I'm talking about these things in advance, but working on getting my lists and things in line, alignments, right? And these alliances. So, Equinox reading available. And I'll be doing those on the other side of Equinox. So that, again, coming back that week, that September 23rd week and into October, I'll be doing those readings. So if you're interested in one of those, that is available. I'm going to do them in the order that they're booked. So if you think you might be interested, you might want to check that out. Like I said, I will be coming on Sunday to do our week ahead card pulls for next week. And I would love to be in touch as I travel to share with you all of the inspirations that come forward and maybe some other surprises. So we'll see about that. What I'm going to do now is share with you the next alignment that just popped up in my news feed on the other side of these updates for me that I think brings through a really powerful message for us collectively about self-care, about refueling, refilling, rebooting, and rerouting. That's another phrase that's been coming up for me in terms of the root chakra, our base, and really making sure that those base needs of our physical body, but also our energetic body and mental health. These are all things that came forward in the Equinox reading that I just did. Not Equinox, sorry. The Lunar Eclipse reading that I just did. So aligned. And the fact that this just happened to pop up in my feed, all the things we can't make up. I want to share that with you. And then, of course, I'm going to pull some cards for us for the weekend because you'll see when I give the message, I want to add a little sparkle to it on the end here with some oracle cards I've just chosen. So go ahead and check this out and we'll pull some cards. Okay, so here in this month where I brought through those words at the top of September, alignments and alliances, and throughout this month already have continued to see the ways in which things have been aligning with messages, synchronicities, those spiritual breadcrumbs really pointing us in the direction of some consistent messaging. Now, I have just spent the last couple days tuning in for the upcoming eclipse, lunar eclipse in Pisces that is occurring with the full moon on Monday, the 17th through the 18th, kicking off eclipse season for us. And as I was diving into those messages, there's definitely been a lot coming through around self-care, refilling of one's cup, refueling, resetting, rebooting, and synchronistic messages have been flowing. As I was recording it, other videos have crossed my path with so many overlapping and consistent messages as we brought through for the empowerment full moon reading. And so now, as I was just preparing to share that with everyone who's joining me for that reading, I came across this photo in my Facebook feed along with a story that I'm going to read now just to share with you and kind of bring forward in this month of Storyteller Tarot, where we're using the power of story, of myth, of legend, of analogies to help us to really connect in with our intuition, our inner knowing, with a remembering. And, with this alignments and alliances, it really is so amazing to me, the lengths at which spirit will go, the universe, our higher selves, in order to fulfill this alliance with us here on our fool's journey, having these experiences that when a message needs to be delivered, they will persistently bring that through. And so if we're talking about really tuning into our own health, our own well-being, our bodies, our mental health is another big component that had been coming through here for this upcoming lunar eclipse. This story came forward. So I'm going to read that to you now. Perhaps you've seen this before. She writes, "No piece of art has ever emotionally affected me the way this robot arm piece has. It's programmed to try to contain the hydraulic fluid that's constantly leaking out and required to keep itself running. If too much escapes, it will die, so it's desperately trying to pull it back to continue to fight for another day. Saddest part is they gave the robot the ability to do these happy dances to spectators. When the project was first launched, it danced around, spending most of its time interacting with the crowd since it could quickly pull back the small spillage. Many years later, as you can see now, it looks tired and hopeless as there isn't enough time to dance anymore. It now only has enough time to try to keep itself alive as the amount of leaked hydraulic fluid became unmanageable as the spill grew over time. Living its last days in a never-ending cycle between sustaining life and simultaneously bleeding out, figuratively and literally, as its hydraulic fluid was purposely made to look like its actual blood. The robot arm finally ran out of hydraulic fluid in 2019, slowly came to a halt, and died. And now I'm tearing up over a friggin' robot arm. It was programmed to live out this fate, and no matter what it did or how hard it tried, there was no escaping it. Spectators watched as it slowly bled out until the day that it ceased to move forever. Saying that this resonates doesn't even do it justice, in my opinion. Created by Sun Yuan and Peng Yu, they named the piece "Can't Help Myself." What a masterpiece. What a message. And there's some extended interpretations offered here. The hydraulic fluid, in relation to how we kill ourselves both mentally and physically for money, just in an attempt to sustain life. How the system is set up for us to fail on purpose, to essentially enslave us and to steal the best years of our lives, to play the game that the richest people of the world have designed. How this robs us of our happiness, passion, and inner peace. How we are slowly drowning with more responsibilities, with more expected of us, less rewarding payoffs, and less free time to enjoy ourselves with as the years go by. How there's really no escaping the system, and that we were destined at birth to follow a pretty specific path that was already laid out before us. How can we give and give and give, and how easily we can be forgotten after we've gone. How we are loved and respected when we are valuable, and then one day we aren't any longer and we become a burden. And how our young, free, caring spirit gets stolen from us as we get churned out of the broken system that we are trapped inside of. Can also be seen to represent the human life cycle and the fact that none of us make it out of this world alive, but also can act as a reminder to allow yourself to heal, rest, and love with all of your heart. That the endless chase for more isn't necessary in finding your own inner happiness. So that's definitely something to reflect on there. Just happened to pop up in my feed, so they say. And so I just felt that that was such a punctuation mark on so many of the messages that we brought through this week, and that I can tell you have also come through as we step into eclipse season. So I'd like to pull a card on that note. Can't let it stand with just the robot dying, okay? I like to look at things from the highest, most expansive perspective that is available. So let's pull some cards. Okay, so now on the other side of that, I want to bring in an oracle card or so. We'll see what comes up, but I just was guided to pull out this deck. In light of the tone of those messages and just what's been coming through, this deck is called Unshakeable Inner Peace Oracle Cards by Shannon, Kaiser. They're gorgeous, and I haven't used this deck in a while, but we're going to tap in. I don't know, I'm feeling guided to it for some reason, so just kind of setting the intention that in the name of, these messages that we've been getting about these stories and these old scripts and these old systems that we have been a part of for so long, that have been sort of the framework of the experiences that we have had to this point, and the opportunity that we have now to make new choices, to write new stories, to turn that page. And it starts with us, with our own inner peace and going within. So of course, this has to do with this vessel where that all takes place, right? This machine that we have, and how we are caring for it, how we are prioritizing it, and how the story up until now doesn't support that. It doesn't feel aligned. It doesn't jive. There's no computation when it comes to what this, the robotic arm and the message that it brought through for us with those extended messages, when you're like, yeah, that doesn't quite compute when we talk about aligning the understanding that if we are here to have this fool's journey, that we must take care of these physical vessels and also the energetic body that we all have to experience this journey. So with that in mind, let's tap in here to this unshakable inner peace, and let's just see what wants to come forward. I don't know. I haven't used this deck in quite a while, but just asking for us collectively as we step into the weekend. We are in the pre-shadow leading up to the eclipse and eclipse season. So you're likely to be feeling things already, you know, and like I said, if you are with me for the eclipse reading, or if you would like to join, we definitely get into it with the astrological weather, with a ritual and some journaling topics and things that have to do with ways to support yourself throughout this eclipse season that's kicking off with this initial lunar eclipse in Pisces. And, you know, with Pisces, it is all about, it's watery energy, it's dreamy, it's intuitive, it's psychic, it's definitely in the feels. So there's a lot of different ways this could be showing up for you already, you know, and as we move into and through the weekend as well. So let's see what's coming forward. Stop it. I mean, just listen. Okay. Let me tell you what it says. Prioritize self-love and care. When do you feel most nurtured and cared for? Just saying. That's what it says. Wow. Yeah. And it's card 23, which is a 5 energy, which is change, which is about this transition that we are in, and the absolute knowing that with that change comes the potential for confusion, for chaos, for instability, for turbulence. But also, I say this about the number 5, because especially if your birth number is 5, and you may know that already if you're familiar with, you know, you're a life path or a number 5, you can calculate that by adding up every single digit of your birth date and taking that total number and further breaking it down. I can help you with that if you're curious. But 5s, people who have a 5 as their life path number, are the rebels. They are the ones that need freedom. They need their alone time. They want to go out for adventure, for their freedom seekers, and again, push back against the system often, you know, that type of energy. So interesting that this brings in that 5 energy, that it's such an outside concept to prioritize your self-care and self-love. So beautiful, so on point. Let me just take a look. I'm not sure about this book. Like I said, I haven't used it in a while, but I do think that it does give us some pretty straightforward messages. Yeah. Okay, let's just see. You may feel as if you don't have much control right now and your world is spinning out of order, but this is a general reminder that you have more control than you think. You have the power to be present in this moment and focus on how you want to feel right now. To stay grounded, prioritize your self-love and care practice. Get back to basics and take care of you. Self-love isn't about being selfish. It's about self-fulfillment. We all deserve our own love and attention. You may be showing up for everyone else and taking care of others at the expense of yourself. Can you believe this is the card that came up? When you take care of yourself first, everything else can flourish. And we're given a divine assignment here. What does self-love mean to you? How often do you look in the mirror and say kind things to yourself? This is a glorious opportunity to improve your relationship with yourself. Treat yourself with compassion. Can you celebrate yourself instead of berating yourself? Use this time to create a new self-love routine. What activities make you feel nurtured? Add these to your daily routine. Give yourself the care you need and watch how everything transforms. Focus on your daily routines and carve out more time for you. This could be as simple as taking time out to journal, taking a hot bubble bath with Epsom salt, or going for a nature walk. You can also go to a mirror, look into your own eyes, and compliment yourself. Feel the power of love moving through you. And ask yourself, when do I feel most nurtured and cared for? So, boom, that card came out swinging. So that tells me I wanted to bring in Archangel Chamuel. This is the Archangel energy for love and peace. And the Archangel I brought in for the lunar eclipse was Archangel Zadkiel, which is for forgiveness and transmutation, because you know, full moons being that culmination, the fullness of things, cycles ending, new ones beginning. It is an opportune time for us to think about what we are releasing, shedding, forgiving. And I think it's important to talk again about self and forgiving ourself. One of my frustrations with myself is this cycle with my iron and, you know, not really being sure if, you know, my forgetting to take my supplements in between infusions or my diet, my lifestyle, if any of those things are really, you know, self-fulfilling prophecies of my situation. And I know and I understand that it's not just that, but this idea that to forgive myself for not always prioritizing my care or doing those things that I know certainly could help. If they're not, if not doing them isn't harming, it certainly is helpful to do them, you see. So there's a bit of self compassion and forgiveness that could be called for there in the ways in which we have neglected our own needs, played small, entertained the people pleasing, you know, overperforming, and in so many other ways that shows up. So I think this is such an important card that everyone can relate to on some level. I want to pull one more here just to kind of, because that card was already like just an extension of everything we already said. Let's just ask for one more message for us collectively as we go into the weekend and sort of, you know, getting into this energy. And again, when we talk about things like retrogrades and eclipses and moon cycles, and we talk about, oh, this one's in this sign, so you could be feeling this, or it may affect you in this way or that way. And maybe some of those things don't sound very pleasant, or they sound very unpredictable in terms of what's coming, and that can feel a little unsettling. It's never meant to be fearful. It's about being mindful, of being aware that these are the natural rhythms of the universe and these things are happening, right? So when we talk about going with the flow, it's like this is the energy that's streaming onto the planet. This is what the universe, and I think it's pretty damn cool that when we talk about alignments and alliances, the alliance that we have with our higher selves, with the universe, the lengths at which it goes to demonstrate and reflect back to us, you know, the ways in which these massive things that we see unfolding around us occurring in the solar system, you know, in our weather, in nature, is all a reflection back to the ways in which it starts right in here. So it just always blows me away. It's just unbelievable. Okay, so let's just get one last card then, with some guidance for us as we go into the weekend, kind of reflecting on all of that and being in flow. One card. Okay. Ooh, Midas touch. Things are working out in your favor. In what ways are you abundant right now? Beautiful. So look at that. That's 16. Interesting because, and I will share on our Sunday card pulls, I'll share with you the Queen of the Moon and Queen of the Sun cards that came forward for this lunar eclipse when I did the empowerment reading. Two themes came forward. One of them was a number 4 and the other one was 16. So interesting that this is a number 16 as well. And also this energy that I just sent you, the Archangel Chamuel, when I sprayed that love and peace, that is the way in which I send that to you to know that, and this does smell beautiful and amazing, you don't have to have it physically in order to receive it energetically. And so I'm really just getting a vibe here with that energetic healing. And again, we're brought into the hands to see the ways in which we have this impact on. And it's funny because when you see the Queen of the Moon card that came up again, hands are key. So I'm sharing that on Sunday. So the Midas touch, things are working out in your favor. So let's see, I'm going to just check the message in the book and I will send you on your way into the weekend. Sorry, that's so low. Number 16, coming in here with the Midas touch. Okay, right now is ripe with possibilities. You have the Midas touch and everything you do can reap tangible rewards. This is the energy of abundance flowing to and through you. We live in an abundant universe and there is plenty to go around. Right now, you can tap into the infinite power of this natural flow. Abundance is not always in the form of financial gain. It can be love, joy, peace, and harmony. Call in what you want more of in your life. Now is the time to celebrate the outcome you have been working toward. The energy around you is heightened, leading you to ultimate success. If you have been on the fence or unsure about something, this is a sign from the universe to go for it. A big yes is delivered. Things will work out in your favor. The divine assignment. A divine source of energy supports your efforts and everything is working out in your favor. You have drawn this card as a nudge that your creative efforts will be rewarded. It is especially important to give yourself permission to be more of who you are by going for the dream in your heart. I like that because there's a lot of dream connection with this upcoming eclipse. It will work out and you will get what you need. Everything you nurture and focus on with grace and love will grow. If any part of you is resistant to the goodness or wonders, is it too good to be true? What if it all goes away? Know that this is your ego fear trying to prevent you from feeling the good. Divine love, source energy, and the universe are abundant, and you are part of this universe. So this abundance is your birthright. Enjoy the flow of love, for all abundance is energy. Step into this powerful vortex and let yourself thrive. When you align with the love and follow your heart, you will always be provided for. And the question to ask, in what ways am I abundant right now? So beautiful messages, aligned messages of abundance and really bringing us into within and focusing there first, right? And out. Pretty cool. All right, guys, I'll leave it there so it doesn't get too long, but that one did give me the reminder that I said I was going to share with you my faith over fear message in old blog post. So I will also put that in here in the line. I don't mean to overwhelm you. I know each time I post, it gives you an alert. So just no worries. It's all here for you to just sort of pick and choose and go through as you feel guided, always in divine timing. I will also share the link if you are interested in joining for the empowerment full moon reading for the lunar eclipse or the equinox spreads coming up. I'll put the link here for those as well. I'd love to have you join. Okay, guys, sending you much love, many beautiful blessings. Have a wonderful weekend.